Osu is a music rhythm game with thousands upon thousands of community-created beat maps. And throughout your time playing Osu, you've probably wondered yourself, what are some of the most difficult maps in Osu? And if you have already tried them yourself, you're probably wondering, why make something so difficult that no player can even beat them, not even the best players in the game? Well, to save you some time, instead of you yourself going to the Osu website to see what the most difficult maps are, in this video I'm going to be showing you the 6 most difficult maps in Osu, and why are they so difficult? So sit back and please enjoy this video, and if you end up enjoying this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, I'm not going to be including one specific map since it is a tag 4 map and wasn't really meant to be played by a single person. So with that out of the way, let's get into the 6 most difficult maps in Osu. For the first map, we have World Ender, mapped by Hey Lululu, which was ranked on June 16th, 2023. Now, the top diff of this map reaches an astounding 10.88 stars, a near 11-star map, and we're just getting started on the most difficult maps in this game. Now, this map is near 300 BPM, being at 280 BPM and at AR 10, and most of the maps you're going to be seeing in this video are more on the techie aim control side of mapping. Now, just how difficult is this first map? Well, more than half of the leaderboard on the map is played with either no fail or halftime, so that should give you a rough idea so far. And aside from those mods, there are only 4 other players that have put on any other mods, those mods being hidden. And as for the total number of actual no-mod passes, there are only 17 for this map as of today. And the best no-mod score belonging to a top 500 player by the name of Caleb, who is also really well known for being the first ever no-mod pass on the loved map Galaxy Collapse, which they also got the first ever no-mod pass on this map as well, being tied with the second lowest miss count on this map being 54 misses, while the lowest miss count belongs to Emmerich at 32 misses. This map may be the easiest one on the list so far, but it's definitely not easy in any regard. Now, already moving on to the next star rating, we have Deadly Force Put an End, mapped by Keqing, ranked on May 24th, 2021, which is the earliest map on this entire list. And this map is just barely pushing over 11 stars, being 11.09 stars, while also being a 300 BPM 5-minute long aim stream map, also being at AR 10. This is definitely a big step up from the last map, because almost the entire leaderboard is filled with either halftime or no fail scores, and there being only 7 actual no-mod passes, with the number 1 no-mod score belonging to the top German player Yeri. And there's a really big reason why there's not even 10 no-mod passes on this map, because I mean, just look at this map, especially this aim section right here. Like, even today, that's some shit that Emmerich could go God mode on, and it would still be considered impressive. And they made this back in 2021 when maps like this were not really the norm, but even nowadays it's still difficult for most people in the top 100 or even the top 50. But maybe in the future we'll see some better scores on this. Cause yes, while this is way more difficult than the last map, it's still probably one of the more doable maps in this entire list, at least in my opinion. Next up we have the Poetic Edda, mapped by Karliah, that was ranked on July 13th, 2024, which is the newest map on the entire list, coming in at 11.13 stars, just slightly higher than the last map, being a near 6-minute long stream aim map at only 165 BPM, but don't let the BPM fool you, this map is still very difficult. With its intense aim control sections and awkward slider patterns, it makes for quite a challenge. Now, in terms of passability, this is definitely the easiest one on the list by far, since there are only 8 people on the leaderboard that have either no fail or halftime on, with almost everybody else on the leaderboard playing with no mod. And there's even 1 no mod A rank. But surprisingly, they don't have the lowest miss count, the lowest miss count belonging to Emmerich, the score right underneath them being at 23 misses. But like I said, while this is probably the easiest map on this list to pass, it's definitely not easy in any regard, as you'll probably see for yourself in this video or even playing it for yourself. Now, the next map is where we start to get into the kinda unplayable territory. Next up we have Xeroa, mapped by Ryuusei Aika, which was ranked on March 3rd, 2022. Osu, being at 11.62 stars at only 2 minutes, which is probably the shortest map on this entire list, but it's also 300 BPM and AR10. And once again, we're back to almost the entire leaderboard being filled with people having to play with either halftime or no fail, with there being only 9 no mod passes, with the number 1 score being set by the rake tapping creator themselves, while not having the lowest miscount belonging to the person right underneath them by the name of Pisiki, with 49 misses. This map is quite unplayable for almost all players, to be quite honest. Even for players like Emrek, the number 1 ranked player, getting over 200 misses on the map with no fail and hidden. This is definitely one of the maps that you would think, why even make this map if it's so unplayable? And to a degree, I understand that, but also mapping is an art form, especially in Osu, and I can get behind the mapper wanting to express their creative freedom on this map. But I don't know, this is quite an unplayable map that almost all of the Osu community can probably never actually play. But moving on to the second to last map of today's video, we have AureoLe for Triumph, mapped by Rem, which was ranked on August 10th, 2022, which is a near 12-star beat map, being 11.97 stars, once again being almost 2 minutes long at 1 minute and 58 seconds, while also being a higher BPM than the last map, being 321 BPM, and obviously AR10. This map is even more unplayable than the last map, which I definitely thought wasn't possible. Probably a lot of people thought it wasn't possible to make an even more difficult beat map than that one, but later the same year they came out with this map and it kind of broke people's minds, and a lot of people really started to think, why are such high star maps getting ranked, especially ones like this that are pretty much just unplayable for 99% of the player base? And while I really don't have an answer for that, the map itself is a really cool and interesting map, especially if you put it on auto or use DancerBot to create a replay for yourself. So while it is aesthetically pleasing, it's not really a map that should be played, or at least the top diff shouldn't even be ranked in my opinion. With literally almost the entire leaderboard being filled with people having either halftime or no fail or even both, there is only one singular no mod pass, and it's by none other than the rake tapping creator. With just under 100 misses at 99 misses, they have the only ever no mod pass on this, and quite honestly I think they'll have the only no mod pass for quite some time. With it already being over a year since that score was set, I think this will be the only no mod score on this map for at least another year, maybe even 2 or 3 more years before we see another no mod pass on it. And finally, we have the most difficult map in Osu, and it's actually already one that we talked about, just a new map set that was actually ranked at the beginning of this year. While originally submitted on August 5th, 2021, it is once again Xeroa, but mapped by ScubDomino this time, with it finally getting ranked on January 9th of this year. It sits at 12.21 stars, that's right, an over 12-star map no mod, with it being almost 2 minutes long at 1 minute and 58 seconds and 301 BPM at AR10. And if you thought the original map set of this was difficult, then this one is just completely unplayable, unless you're Emrek, of course, since he has the best miscount and best no mod score on this, with there actually being 6 no mod passes in total. And for some reason he did better on this one than the other one, which was easier star rating wise. But then again, his score on the original map set is almost 2 years old at this point, so I guess it does kind of make sense how he did better on this one. I mean, Emrek has improved an insane amount over these past almost 2 years, so it does make sense. But even still, this entire map is played with almost all halftime or even just no fail. And in my opinion, these patterns are just way more uncomfortable than the previous map set, but I guess that's where the difficulty increase comes from. But that pretty much ends off the list of the most difficult maps in Osu, and now this begs the question, why do these maps even exist? Why do these really high star maps even get ranked? Now, well, I don't really have an answer to as why they really get ranked, since almost the entire player base can't even pass these maps without difficulty reducing mods. I can say one thing. Like I said earlier, mapping has turned into an art form, and mappers like to show off their creativity through these really hard sounding songs, like I've mentioned in today's video. And while I do completely get that, I personally think think that these really high star rating maps just shouldn't be ranked as of right now, or for a while at that. Now, in no way am I saying that these maps are bad, but they just shouldn't be ranked. What they should be is in the loved category 100%, because nowhere in the near future do I see any player being able to FC any of these maps that I have listed off today, especially an FC with good AC. So in my opinion, maps like this just shouldn't be ranked, at least as of now. But what are your guys' opinions about these really difficult maps? Please let me know down in the comments below. Do you think these maps should be ranked, or do you think they should be put in the loved category? Or are you somebody that thinks that none of these maps should even be ranked or loved? Maybe you just don't like difficult maps, maybe you're just skill issued like me, but please let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because we're getting super close to 2K subs and even closer to our goal of 5K subs by mid next year. So I'd really appreciate any and all support. And once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your nights or days, and I will see you guys then. Peace out.